Ladies and gentlemen, hello there and welcome along to Betfair's preview of round 13 of the NRL. I'm Mathew Thompson. Tim Gilbert's got his duck pancakes out here at the Imperial Peking Duck Pond, and we're looking forward to catching up with all the club action after Origin 1, Timmy.
Would you want to be anywhere else?
No.
It's great to be here at the Duck Pond.
Now, we'll have the dust settling on the Origin, all the players backing up for their clubs this weekend, so that throws a few spanners in the works, if you like.
It does, and trying to pick winners is very, very difficult. We've had a bit of a run of good form, and then last weekend we both sort of piloted to the ground. That was very, very difficult. Who would have ever thought that Canberra would come out on Monday night and beat South Sydney in the fashion they did? And it really does raise some question marks. I know there was no Craig Wing. Michael Crocker, of course, strengthens them, but they were poor on Monday night, as were a few other teams.
Yeah, a few worries about the Bunnies there. We'll have a look at this round, though, starting with a game which is affected by Origin. The Storm versus the Broncos. Now, how many players in the Storm? 5 or 6?
Yeah, it makes it a massive week in Melbourne, doesn't it? They do this every year. Basically, Melbourne play Brisbane straight up. And looking at this game, it's a flip of a coin, isn't it? It's Melbourne at home, who haven't been compelling in their form this year. Brisbane, who lead the competition with St George. I will say, in my personal opinion, humble opinion, that Brisbane might just nudge home here.
Well, $1.56 favourites Melbourne against the Broncos at 2.32, and I think there's nice odds for the Broncos. I'm going to tip them as well, with the Storm guys backing up from Origin.
That's dangerous.
Yep, so outsiders for us to start the round. The West Tigers up against the Penny Panthers. The Tigers $2.20, the Panthers $1.63. They'll get those three key players back though this week. Penrith, of course, Sivanasiva, Lewis and Jennings, and Robbie Farah comes back for the Tigers as well. So it's a hard game to judge.
Most importantly, I think for the Tigers, Farah is back. I watched that game against the Warriors. They seemed like a rudderless ship, didn't they, at times against New Zealand. Prior to that, they've been playing some wonderful football without luck. Someone was giving us some stats last week saying, look, if they got a point here or 2 points here, they could be leading the comp. So the Tigers aren't too far off putting something together, in my opinion. I think they'll beat Penrith on Friday night. Leichhardt Oval always helps, but with Robbie Farah back, I just think the Tigers will win.
Yeah, all right. Well, gee, I might sit on the fence here. I think they're too short. Penrith $1.63. I think the price will get better as the game gets closer. So just keep your powder dry if you're looking to have a bet with Betfair on that game. You might get better odds about the Panthers.
You can't sit on the fence.
Penrith.
Penrith, okay.
All right, the Seagulls $1.34 against the Roosters $3.35. The Seagulls giving away as much start as you want are my specials of the weekend. They cannot be beaten by the Roosters.
You don't think the Artie beats an influence will help?
Absolutely no chance.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to be with you there. I think Manly will win. They've been unlucky recently. They have to win if they're any hope of making the 8 now after their very, very slow start to the season. I think they'll get the chooks.
What's doing with the Roosters?
Oh, I don't know. They were just dreadful, weren't they? And they've had their crisis talks, apparently. They've had their crisis meetings. Let's see if they can get out of the bunker with Artie on board and do something, but I don't think it'll be this week.
No, it can't be. Cowboys $1.34 against the Rabbitohs at 2.34. North Queensland, of course, very, very hard to shake at home against the Rabbitohs. They're, I reckon they're out of form now. I was sort of singing their praises towards the start of the year, but I'm not sure what's happened there.
Yeah, it was a pretty wet night against Parramatta, and they really didn't impress anyone, even in the wet, but they nudged in with a draw. They were poor against Canberra, travelling up to North Queensland. Jonathan Thurston has been in wonderful form. Luke O'Donnell, of course, representing New South Wales. There's a few players starting to run into their form, and Neil Henry's style of play is starting to tell as well. I think North Queensland, they are my best bet of the weekend, North Queensland to beat the Rabbitohs, and Rabbitohs comfortably. There
it is, the Cowboys for Timmy. Now the Sharks versus the Warriors here. The Warriors $1.80, the Sharks $2 at the moment. The Sharkies, well, they get some confidence finally with a long overdue victory, which is good for all the Sharks fans, of course.
Yeah, and you think Gallen will be back. I know that he missed Origin, but that shoulder probably just needed a few more days. Either way, I'm going to pick the Sharks here to win. I think they've got a bit of confidence out of last week. Porter played well at halfback. I know he's inexperienced, but he's got a kicking game, and he's a good foil for Trent Barrett. I think the Sharks have enough desire and passion to try and get off the bottom of the table to beat the Warriors, who have not been at all convincing.
No,
despite their win last week over South.
Well, I'm not going to get carried away because the Sharks couldn't get out of their own way before last week, so I'm going to tip the Warriors. I can't possibly tip the Sharks on the back of their performance last week.
Okay, that's fair enough. Well, I did say that the Warriors against South last week, of course it was the Warriors beating the Tigers and the Raiders beating the South Sydney Rabbitohs, but yeah, Sharks.
All right then.
Upset.
The Knights versus the Eels here, Energy Australia Stadium on Sunday. The Knights $1.30, the Eels $3.25. Can I have two best bets of the weekend?
If you wish.
Well,
Your
that's
show.
my other one.
It's your show.
I'll
It's
do
the
whatever
Matt
I want.
Thompson show.
I'll make up the rules.
You do what you
The
wish.
Knights are absolute gazetted laydown as their specials.
Okay, any more words?
They'll win.
Okay, I think they'll win too, and I don't think Parramatta are much hope at all, and I think this really is going to be a battle for the wooden spoon with them and a couple of other teams. I know that's a fearless prediction, but they are very much in a rebuilding stage, Parramatta, and Newcastle Knights, Gidley back. How good was Jared Mullen last week? It was in my origin side if I had the opportunity to pick it. Of course, didn't play, but
Well, you've been vindicated there.
we may see him. We may see him throughout the course of the series, Jared Mullen.
Well, of course, if he form sticks up there, there's injuries and everything else that can happen. He's well and truly in the frame there, but they'll win
I think so.
by plenty. The Titans versus the Dragons here. Interesting game, this one too. The Titans $1.95, the Dragons $1.85 at the moment on Betfair.
Yeah, can't tip against the Dragons. I know it's at Skill Park, but the Dragons are just wonderful. They're the team of the competition so far this year, and the Dragons to win.
And they'll be winning for me as well. All right, that's how it stands at the moment. So I've got two best bets this weekend on betfair.com. The Knights to beat the Eels at $1.30, and I've got the Seagulls at $1.34 against the Roosters, which I reckon's picking up money. And you've gone for the Cowboys.
Gone for the Cowboys, and I just think that they'll be very, very good against the Rabbitohs at home, full house. They'll win. And enjoy your football. Great to be back at the Duck Pond.
Yep, always good to be back. Betfair.com's the place to go. I should mention as well the Dragons at the moment, premiership favourites with Betfair.
As they should be.
$6.80, $7 each of two, the Melbourne Storm and the Brisbane Broncos. The Bulldogs at $8.60. Less than $2 separates the top four teams.
That's how tight the competition is. No wonder I'm tipping so badly. But this week, got some confidence.
Good luck, and if you have me a bet this weekend on betfair.com, all the best.
Enjoy it.